Whoa. Sideways. The truth. This rap shit easy. Check it. Hoes popping ass, Remy in my glass.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Today we have Bickle, formerly known as B-KryptiK. I used to do hip hop with him. And why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Matt Bickle. Those that remember when I did music, I was B-KryptiK. Formerly of the Quad Cities. Moved up to Okoboji, Iowa, pursue greener pastures. Now I'm here.
Oh, yeah. Where did it all start for you in hip hop?
I grew up Deerfield Woods apartment complex in the 90s, and that's where I got into it. You know, Bone Thugs, Tupac, Coolio, all that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tupac was big. Bone Thugs I was huge into. You know, just growing up in the projects.
Yeah, so I met you from Scarecrow, and I knew you from the Midwest Maniacs. Did it start as just you, B-KryptiK, or did you start as a group?
Well, it started originally, we were the East Side Riders, and we were I was a young kid, 18 years old. I was 17 actually, and kind of was inspired by what, you know, Scarecrow was doing. So we started doing stuff with some other guys. It was me, dude named Ozzy, and Lizard Man, who you know,
Yep.
he's been around for years. And we started doing our thing, and it wasn't any good. You know, it was fucking Shure SM58 plugged directly into the back of the computer, and you know, we didn't know what we were doing. We were using Acid Studio, and it was pretty low budget, but it was fun. And I eventually started to get better, and then eventually it became Midwest Maniacs, and we started working with Corey directly, Scarecrow, and you know, Par and Slit, and you and NDK and everybody. So I mean, we started to get a little bit better. I started to understand more of the production value and, you know, the fills, the ad lib and stuff like that, and just got better at it than what I was originally doing.
Hell yeah. So you were making music, and I know you were making beats for a while. Do you still do that?
Oh yeah, I still do. I actually have a bunch of instruments in my house. I taught myself how to play the piano.
Nice.
So I've got my keyboard, I've got an organ, I've got a xylophone, I've got bongos, I've got fucking a didgeridoo. I got all kinds of dumb shit at my house, basically. And I still jam around a little bit, but I'm pretty busy with what I do now. So
Yeah. What do you do now?
I am the head chef of Nautical, Portside, Boardwalk, and I also help oversee Mother Nature's.
Damn. Staying busy, huh?
It's busy. We just opened Boardwalk this summer, and it's right on the lake. It's right in front of the amusement park that's up here. So I mean, it's
Oh yeah. Do you have any like ultimate goals with making beats? It's just still, is it a hobby, or are you trying to go further with it?
it's a hobby, and that's one thing I learned is when I have fun with it, it's better. When I'm like myself too, it's not as good, and it's more, you know, it's forced. That's what it boils down to. When you're doing it like I was previously, where it was like, we need to make money off this, we need to do this. It just wasn't as good. It was writer's block and stuff like that happened a lot more. When it's organic, it flows a little better, and I get a better come out of it.
Yeah,
And
I switched over. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, I actually got some studio equipment in place now that after this summer's fucking ridiculous. I think my next day off is July 6th.
Probably, especially after this COVID too, huh? With everybody trying to go do stuff now.
Dude,
it's probably extra busy.
Everybody's got all their extra leftover vacation time for last year. So, I mean, it's just a shit show up here. And I mean, you know, last summer we were still very busy. We just opened Portside, which is a pizza joint, where I do Quad City style pizza, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
We were still really busy. I mean, February was our busiest month this past year of all time. And it's just ridiculous to think that we're that busy in the wintertime in a resort town, you know. But I recently got a microphone and some things, and I hope to this fall kind of maybe start screwing around. Maybe not try to do that whole like horrorcore gangster rap thing, and more from my soul. You know what I mean? Like I listen to shit. I listen to pretty much everything. You know, I really really high on like Yellow Wolf and Jelly Roll. Still love Tech. You know, Tech's my guy. It's been my guy since I was 14 when I seen him at QC Live in Davenport. You know what I mean? When he's touring for Apple Power. But I mean, I also like a lot of reggae. I like a lot of rock and stuff like that too. So I mean, like, I feel like I could maybe do my own thing, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy too. Like, I'm big into Yellow Wolf, but like, it's crazy. We came from like the same shit, and I like reggae a lot too. And it's actually hard for me to find people around here that like it like that. But I listen to reggae a lot.
It's summertime vibes up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's good shit. I listen to a lot of Stick Figure and Revolution. You know, the white guy reggae.
Yeah, I heard that shit.
And I enjoy it. You know, and I still like the classics. I love Damian Marley. Damian Marley's cold. You know,
that's my guy. I love Damian Marley. I listen to him all the time.
When I was a kid, my family all listened to reggae. You know what I mean? We'd go to the river and float down the river, and they'd be listening to like Inner Circle and shit like, you know what I mean? So I've always been pretty big into that shit.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. Like, I listen to that. Like, that's in my rotation right after hip hop, but you know, like 90s alternative, and I like 9 Inch Nails and shit like that.
Dude, I love him. Dude, Trent Reznor is one of the best.
He's,
you know what I mean? Like, that guy's production value is fucking insane. Like, the noises, sounds he comes up with for some of the music he makes, it's just fucking insane. And that's one thing that music made me really appreciate was the production value that goes into some of these instrumentals and stuff. Because, like, dude, it makes or breaks a song. Like, just the way you tweak noises and add filters, you know what I mean? So you add more reverb, you add a little bit of the flange to it, stuff like that. It just makes it that much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool, though.
I 9 Inch Nails is one of my favorites. Like, I love MSI too. Nobody likes MSI. Mindless self-indulgence, you know, like, nobody gets down on that. But dude, that shit's from back in the day for me. And at the same time, you know, like Slipknot and you know, all that old new metal and shit, you know, I grew up on that too, you know. So, you know, Mudvayne, Slipknot, Cold Chamber, Static X, shit like that. I still listen to that to this day, you know. And but then I'll go from that, and I also love Young Buck. Young Buck's one of my favorites.
Young Buck, man. That's crazy. We have way more.
He still cranks out albums too, and they're still good.
That's crazy, man. Like, I didn't realize we had that much in common with music, because like, man, we need to talk more, because like, we could go on and on about these guys. Like, Young Buck, like, I didn't even like I respected, and I know that 50 Cent got where he was with his talent, not just like knowing, like, when he got big, he still wrote like a motherfucker. Like, he was still good, but I wasn't really into him. But when I heard that Young Buck verse on like that Tupac remake song, I was like, and then I started listening to other guys in G Unit. Like, Young Buck is what got me into that.
Dude, that's the thing.
He's so good.
It was the shit, you know what I mean? Like, for me, like, Straight Outta Cashville, you know, like, that album was, that's top 5 for me, easily.
I love it. And I heard that verse and I bought that album and I was just hooked, like, immediately. The whole
I took the side of the beat too. I was like, fuck 50 Cent, you know what I mean? Like, I like it. He's raw. He drops good shit. He's got emotional songs too, not just his gangster fucking music, you know.
So you're saying, like, that's what kind of what, like, so you're saying you want to do stuff more from the soul, like, you mean like deeper, like more personal?
Just more meaningful, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like I was trying to put things out for other people. Back when I was doing music, and just trying to get people to like what I was doing more so than me liking what I was doing. You know what I mean? And I feel like that kind of derailed everything that we were kind of trying, that I was really wanted to accomplish at the end of the day, which was, you know, do something I would enjoy and could be proud of. Because there's still like, I still love some of my music. Once in a while I'll play it for people at work. I'm like, you guys know I used to be a rapper, right? Which, I mean, I've got a couple of my buddies that moved up here, and you know, they remember me, like, needing Saturdays off to go do shows, fucking Clinton, shit like that.
I know you've had some pretty crazy experiences out there and shit, and I've heard a lot, like, even not from you, but like, what's your favorite live music experience that you've had?
Man, I had there's ones I don't even remember. Like, me and
same.
you remember that show? But I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So I used to drink pitchers. You know, I used to just have a pitcher of beer in my hand,
Yeah.
drinking
Oh
it.
yeah, you did. Yo.
So I would get fucking rowdy. You know what I mean? Like I would get really way too drunk and just be, you know, superstar, rock star mode, and just be a general dick. But so I brought Twisted Insane to, what was it, Graffiti's in Clinton.
That place
And
is cool, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was like me, some other girl was like, I fucking love Twisted Insane. I was like, I'm going to bring him. And then my cousin was all about Twisted Insane too. And I was like, oh yeah, let's get him up here. He was cheap. It was an easy show to off. I think we had Gruesome there too. We had tons of people there. And I just remember having a fucking blast with this guy. And so this is one of my favorite stories. Is his show promoter, his tour manager or whatever you want to call him at the point, was telling me, he's like, yeah, the last show we did, he got kicked out of the strip club because he punched a stripper. And I was like, oh shit. And then it was like the end of the night. We had the after party at, what was it, Amsterdam? Is that what it was? No, it was the one that Teddy Kong DJ'd at. What was that strip club?
I can't remember.
Yeah, see, that's my problem. I can't remember half the shit.
I think Amsterdam was the one up by Crow's old house, like up there by.
I don't think it was, because Amsterdam was the one that was like in between Brady and Harrison, right? Where like Lil White was and shit.
I don't remember. At the Chorus Line or something? I don't know.
But anyways,
I remember.
No, maybe it was Chorus. No. I don't fucking remember, but. But anyway, so we're going to the strip club, and this tour manager's like, all right, you're in charge of him. And I was like, oh, sweet. You set me up for this fucking perfect storm of 4 o'clock in the morning, and he just told me how he punched a stripper. It was Easter, because it was the day before Easter, and I remember driving him back to the hotel. He's got some bitch with him, and I run over a rabbit. He's like, did you hit him? And I was like, yeah. He's like, fuck yeah. Happy Easter. And then the next day he goes, I actually got his album cover. It's not finished, but I got it tattooed on me. And I remember him, he's like, that's fucking badass. He's like, so that next day on Easter Sunday, we ended up going to a tattoo shop, and he gets the same fucking tattoo, which was sweet. You know what I mean? Like, I love that dude. He wasn't really like hyper popular by any means. He'd done Worldwide Choppers with Tech.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
I found him and stuff. And it was just a really cool experience, you know what I mean? Like, getting to meet these guys. Like, I was never really the guy to be like, I need your fucking autograph. Take a picture with me, blah, blah, you know?
Yeah.
The experience hanging out with these artists. Like, we hung out with Stevie Stone after that show at Graffiti's too. He had his hotel room because he had family in Iowa City or whatever. So they all came down, and he had a big hotel party. And that was the shit, just to hang out with the guy and talk to him, you know, and be like, so what made you want to do this, you know, and have the same conversation like what we're having, you know? Yeah. And that's what it was about for me, was these experiences with these people that I respected their music, you know what I mean? And then having the opportunity to sit there and just pick their brain and bullshit with them, you know?
Right.
Take them off that this guy's a fucking celebrity. I'm going to fucking suck him off. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, not be on that road, but be like, hey man, I really appreciate what you do. Your music brings me a lot of joy in life. And I guess that's where my mistake was with my music. Cause I was just trying to be like, I want everybody to think I'm a fucking superstar as opposed to relating to people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, nobody can relate to people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That's what's crazy about doing all that though, man. Because you have all these bad experiences with shows and stuff, but those ones that are like that make it worth it. So it's just, if you just like wait out these shitty shows, and like even some of the celebrities you meet are assholes. Like, I almost got into it with a couple of them. Like, or I did get into it with a couple of them, but then you have the ones that they're even just in general. They don't even have to be like celebrity shows, but like those shows that make it worth it.
Some of the best ones we did were just us locals doing shit. Like, McMahon, you know what I mean? Like, just doing little throwdown free shows for the public where everybody would hang out and party. It was basically us having a party together and inviting people, you know what I mean? So, I mean, that was fun. And like, I remember, so one of the bad ones, we had that little flip show. That was like one of the last.
I was there.
Yeah.
I performed. Me and Sideways performed that.
There was like maybe 20 people there, and he was pissed at us. And I was like, it's not my fault. The people don't remember Sunshine. Well,
yeah,
I mean,
dude.
like, fuck, we didn't even play Sunshine. I was pissed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, that was a bad experience. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but nothing bad happened. It was just like, he was like all nobody can come back here behind stage. This is VIP. I was like, no, nobody's fucking here to even do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, sorry that only like 20 people showed up, but like Twisted Insane was a shit. Cause I remember I was outside freaking out like I always did before the show started. Like, where the fuck are these motherfuckers? You know what I mean? Like flipping shit basically. And sorry, somebody's trying to walk in and we're closed right now. I'm not trying to tell the Twisted Insane story in front of a family of people. But anyways, I remember like flipping out in the parking lot. I was like, how about he's in a van smoking a blunt, people I knew. And he's like, what's wrong, man? I was like, I'm about to fucking kill somebody. He's like, I like you, dude. I'm like, that dude was just he was the shit to hang out with. And then like I remember, God, what else did we do up there? We had Cut up there. I barely remember the Cut Calhoun show. Were you there for that?
No. Was there a lot of people for Twisted Insane?
There was. That was actually our show. And it was funny because it was our least known act that we had brought in.
It's just around that area, though, if you bring any, like, Tech 9 affiliated stuff or, like, Juggalo shit, you're going to pull.
And that's the big thing is the Juggalo shit, Tech 9 shit's what works. So we tried to mold ourselves to that aspect. You know what I mean? Like, I liked it. You know, I was a Juggalo when I was younger.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really, like, I shouldn't have tried to model myself around it because I just was selling myself short, basically. You know, it limited me to that crowd only, and other people are gonna be like, I don't want to listen to shit, you know, which I get, you know, now as I'm older and I'm like, turn that shit off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I run a couple kitchens, so everybody's got their music taste. I'm like, can you turn down the shit, you know, and I'm an old man now, and I'm like, guys, can we just listen to some fucking Johnson Brothers or some Bar-Kays or something today? That's why, I mean, I listen to funk more than anything nowadays. Like, I listen to a lot of George Clinton and shit. And that's kind of where I realize that I'm old now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be putting on some Grateful Dead every now and then, man.
Oh, I have
as loud as I can.
I have a no shakedown street clause.
No, come on, man.
Why? When I worked at Bent River, that was like on the jukebox all the time, and it got so blown out. I was like,
yeah,
probably.
Yeah. I like Casey Jones the best, though. So back to like your music, and I know like you're talking about how maybe you weren't like being true to yourself, but at the same time, even just doing it, like, did you ever think of that as being like therapeutic at all?
Yeah, it was nice because I really got to like rage both like through my words and stuff, and let out some, you know, blow off some steam basically, and say things that I normally wouldn't say. You know what I mean, to anybody. So I mean, it was very therapeutic. It was fun. You know what I mean? When you hit songs and they are just right, and you know what I mean? Like I've got a few that I still like. I'm like, God, that turned out so fucking good. You know, it's just a good feeling in general to create something like that. Then I'm like, God, this could have been a chart topper. I mean, this one for sure could have done something. You know what I mean? Like, you got a songs in your repertoire that you're kind of like, yeah, it's all right. Then you got the ones that, God, that one's a fucking banger. Like, listen to I'm just a lyricist, Jesus Christ, you know. And
so I heard of some of your beats too. I know we used one of them on Organized Chaos. I think I probably used the beat of yours before.
You know, Suicide got that one, and it was Shoot Club Up or something like that.
I don't remember. Like, I honestly, like, I got to go listen to the album again because I can't even remember it. Like,
I remember it was something about shooting the club up or something like that.
Something.
And it was good. That beat was good too, because I remember that beat in particular. Because I still like will throw them on because they're all on SoundCloud still. So once in a while, get a wild hair up my ass and be like, I'm gonna listen to some of these old beats. And like the ones I've been making recently that I haven't really like unleashed to anybody besides like Corey, you know what I mean, or like people around me. Like my wife loves it. My wife I got married, by the way, so that's a new development in my life that probably people in the Quad Cities don't know about. But she's like, you're so good at it, blah blah. But it's like my mom telling me I did a good job. You know what I mean? Like I started remaking Sweet Dreams because I was like, hey, Crow, do you want to redo Sweet Dreams? You remember it, him and Slit, Sweet Dreams. That was one of the
shrooms.
Yeah. Do you remember back when we used to make fun of each other so bad? We always would fucking talk shit about each other's songs and like make them into other shit. I cannot remember any of them. It was always like the dumbest shit.
It was. Because, okay, so we came on the scene because we, like, the Takeover met UGV before I met you. And that was 1 year with Midwest Maniacs. And you guys were performing this shit before we were. Like, Takeover. And so that's when we got invited to, like, the mixtape show. And I didn't really know a lot of people around the area, like, that were doing hip-hop. And so I came and I saw, like, how you all, like, were going up and doing your shit. And I was like, damn, you guys were, like, killing people. I don't remember the song.
Hunting people.
Yeah. And yeah. And I was like, I've never heard no shit like this before. And so, yeah, I don't know. There was just an automatic, like, shit giving thing back and forth between us. So we were just always doing that shit. Then we did that one collab, Both Sides of the River or whatever.
Both Sides of the Bridge. I love that song.
Yeah.
I just, that one, that chorus on there, it's because it's all three of us. It's me, you, and NDK just screaming that chorus along.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, that one turned out really good. Because I remember, what was it? It was Britney Spears' mic or something like that in that studio that NDK was working at.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that in particular because it was like, this used to be Britney Spears' mic.
It was Christina Aguilera or something.
Yeah.
One or the other. They're the same person, I think.
So, but yeah, no, I remember that. I remember meeting you guys down there at mixtapes, and I remember those shows were always funner than hell. They were so small and it wasn't much, and like I'm still good friends with JT who owned it.
Yeah.
He's actually done a lot of my tattoos. He still does tons of shit. He's just not down there anymore. But those shows, I just remember being like, it was that stage that was like that high, the risers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 2 15-inch PVs, and it wasn't nothing special, but it was fucking fun, man. I always loved it.
Well, at that time, it was like we couldn't really do shows because everyone was so scared to put hip hop shows on because like the few people that were doing it were fucking it up. And so
somebody got shot at Project Pat or some shit and it ruined everything.
Yeah, and then we had to get, like, JT was actually like fucking with us. And so I even did a couple shows there, and then we kind of just went from there, you know, and then everything else kind of was going from that, you know, and you had McManus going there for a while.
McManus was fun.
It was fun.
God, I lived across the street too, so it was like I could get as drunk as I wanted, and it was gravy. Like that was, you know, Teresa was real nice for letting us just kind of do whatever we wanted. You know, she would hook us up on drinks. She would throw us a little bit of money for doing it, and it was great. But like, the problem is that everybody started to come out of the woodworks, and I don't want to sit here and like be mad at people for wanting to get into music and do stuff, but I felt like it got to be really cutthroat in the Quad Cities, and that's kind of why I stopped, because it was like everybody was gunning for everybody's shit and wanted this, wanted to do that, was mad about this, pissed about that, and it was like, I don't want to fucking deal with this shit anymore. You know what I mean? That was right around the time when I moved up. I moved up here 5 years ago, and that was about the end of it, because there was a stretch there where we got real fucking close, because it was like we had Cut and Stevie's and Twisted Insane and Lil Flip, and it was just boom, 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 like every show, every month. But there was just too many mouths to feed, and people would get salty if you wouldn't have them come out. And it's like, well, I'll give you these tickets, you sell them to make your money, and people would be mad about that. You know, at the end of the day, I would have loved to have just paid people, but that's not what was happening with us. Like, we weren't getting paid to do shows at like Graffitis and shit. We had to sell our tickets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like everybody did. So it was like people were starting to get like mad about shit, and you know, people were gunning to get like our promoters that would offer us up, you know, the artists and stuff, and it was just getting really cutthroat. And I was like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. It wasn't fun anymore. You know what I mean? There was just too many people I didn't know that were like, I deserve to be the headliner, and why do I have to go up first? And you know what I mean? You know, it's like,
and then the people that would come in way late and be like, man, you were supposed to go up like 4 acts ago. Like, you can't just show up late to get a better spot.
Yeah,
that's just annoying.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the smaller shows. Like McManus shows were always the best. You know what I mean? For me personally, because we just would hang out and get drunk and party. You know, it was a good time. Like we do
Those are
shots.
those are the good ones. Like my favorite show was like that. It didn't feel like a show. Everyone was celebrating and partying and hanging out. No bullshit. But then when you get the shows that are like so organized, I know there's some good ones. I'm not talking shit about all of them, but I know the ones you mean.
I'm not knocking anybody's hustle by any means because I was there. You know,
I mean, there's like the ones that are so organized, and then you got people that just like, I don't know, they'll hang by the bar and like they're cliquey and nobody's fucking with each other and everyone just mean mugging. Like those are the ones that suck. Like, why am I here?
Yeah, and it's like I'm trying to roll around and see everybody and shit, do my thing. But at the end of the day, when I was promoting shows too, you know what I mean? Like I had a lot of footwork. I had to run around and check things out and do this and make sure this person's doing this, make sure these people are here and ready. And, you know, people would get butthurt that you don't stand there and watch their entire set. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I've heard all your songs before, man. I appreciate you being here. That's why you're here. I'm not trying to make you feel bad because I'm not standing right there like, you know, I got shit going on. I'm sorry, you know, and it was never anything like hostile for me, but people would kind of twist that around to be like, oh, he didn't watch our show, you know, and it's like, I'm sorry. Like, it's not personal. It was never personal. It was me being drunk and trying to figure shit out, you know, chasing girls and shit, because that was how it was back then. I was in my 20s trying to party too.
Exactly.
And that's what it boiled down to. I was like, I'm facilitating these parties. And I have the fucking footwork I didn't anticipate I had to do. Like making sure the liners here, making sure the opening acts are here, making sure everybody's ready. You got your set list. Is it on a fucking thumb drive? Why is it on a fucking CD? You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's a lot too. That's a lot more than people realize. Cause like
we were right on the cusp of the digital age, so where people are still like burning their set list onto a disc. And it's like, dude, thumb drive, please. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if it skips, it's not my fault.
And that's the thing too. We don't get like these events are made for like teams, but we would like do that shit by ourselves. Like, that's a lot. But I didn't want anyone to fuck it up for me. So that show day, if anyone was on bullshit, I would get the fuck away from me, man. I got a show today. Go away. And
that was a problem. I was always angry. Like I was like storming around, like, oh, fuck. And it wasn't like I was mad at everybody that was there. I was just stressed the fuck out, you know.
Yeah.
Today, that shit was a lot of stress. Like, I mean, what I do now, like trying to facilitate all these restaurants, it's pretty even. You know what I mean? You'd think this was more stressful, but fuck, dude, doing the shows and stuff it got to be a little bit ridiculous.
We were probably more hotheads back then, though. I know I was.
And then chasing Scarecrow around too and making sure he's.
I still do that shit. I'm like, man, come on, man, you gotta turn that shit in earlier, man.
That was always our joke too. Either one of us was fucking up, basically. So he would be on his game, I'd be off doing dumb shit, or I'd be on my game and he'd be off doing dumb shit. Yeah. But we always got into trouble. Every fucking one of us do something completely stupid. Like I remember he was banned from Graffitis and I was banned from Apollo's. We couldn't do shows in Clinton because one of us was banned from one of the places.
Oh my god.
It was ridiculous. And I'm like, fuck this place, you know.
I've done my share of chasing Crow around. Oh, what the fuck, where'd he go?
I remember some guys like tried to jump somebody in our crew or something like that at Apollo's. And I was just drunk, you know what I mean? And I remember freaking the fuck out. And I was just talking to Corey about it the other day, actually. It was funny. He puts things in perspective really well. He's like, you were fucking like, you whipped a picture at their sign and shit. And you were like, I'm Matt fucking Bickle. He's like, stop screaming your name when you're committing felonies.
Oh my God.
And then, like, we couldn't go to Graffitis because he got caught having sex in the bathroom.
Yeah. I think I was there that night, not in the bathroom. But I remember that night.
Bar. There's no sex in the champagne room kind of thing, you know. Yeah. But I mean, like, dude, it was always so much fun to like look back on it and I'm like, man, that was awesome fucking life experience. You know what I mean? Like,
fun, man.
don't know anybody that got to do the dumb shit we did. Like,
Yeah.
dude, from the big show, like I remember that show in Iowa City. Like I don't really remember it too much, but I remember that show in Iowa City, and like I remember going out to like Independence and Old Wine and shit like that. You know what? We did one in like DeKalb, I think, or something. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But it was always like, it was fun to go to another city and do it because I was like, none of these people know who the fuck I am. I'm gonna be a complete fucking dick.
Yeah, traveling was fun.
It was always a good time, but I remember at the fucking Clinton shows, like my Impala, like my ignition switch would fuck up and my car wouldn't start. And so we'd get done and I'd go to start my car and fuck, man. And it was like, I feel all big top dog and I go to leave and my car doesn't start. And I'm like, I'm just still a broke piece of shit,
Was Crow with you?
Yeah, but we
His
always
cars don't work with that motherfucker when he's out on doing shows and shit.
Yeah, and it's like that guy just attracts it, I think.
Yeah. He got that bad luck going on and shit.
But it was always fun, like I learned a lot of shit. I got to meet a lot of people like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like our clique of people that we worked with a lot, like it was always so much fun. Like we always would just get drunk and have a good time,
Oh, yeah.
And it was a great way to spend my mid-20s.
It was. Man,
Yeah,
my 20s were crazy, but I mean, I was doing music the whole time, so.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was working shitty jobs, like I was a line cook. I was working I remember I was a telemarketer for a while too.
Yeah.
And was just doing petty, stupid fucking jobs and then like going out being this guy that I'm really not, you know what I mean? And trying to put on this front and shit. Now I'm like, now that I'm older, I'm like, I want to get back into it, but I want to approach it from a different aspect. I'm like, I'm just going to do this for fun. If people like it, they like it. You know what I mean?
See,
And like
Go ahead.
And like now, like I understand music theory a lot better now that I'm older. Like I really try to get music theory and with the beat production and stuff. And so like my beats are crisper, they sound better. Like the just overall melodies and layouts and drum patterns and shit are just that much more like complex, and they sound, you know what I mean? It sounds right. It's not like me just like, oh, A, B, C, C, A, C, you know what I mean? Just walking shit out on a keyboard with one finger. Now I can actually play chords, play notes, and, follow music theory a little better to where it sounds more professional. It sounds like somebody actually gave a shit when they made it. They're not just like making fucking Crank That Soldier Boy on Fruity Loops,
I want to hear some of that shit.
That's pretty good. I mean, I'll send you the link.
Yeah. I think I've recently heard some of it. There's a couple that made me want to start writing again. Or not writing, I'd write, but like making music again.
If you go on SoundCloud, I have like 6 or 7 I put on there. It's Bogie Life Entertainment.
I think I've heard them then. Oh, I did, because I asked you about my friend.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that's why I told her, I was like, I'll just give it to you if you want it. Like, I'm at the point now where I'm like, I remember trying to sell beats and shit. Like, yeah, $50 and you got exclusive rights off my pirated fucking Fruity Loops. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that was the next thing I was going to say, though, because I get that. Like, you don't want it to feel like it's work, like that's what you love to do and like makes you feel good. So having a hobby like that, I think is important. Like, I know people like that. Like, I know a photographer, like he'll do pictures for a good deal for his friends and shit, but he doesn't want to make it a job because he doesn't want to lose that part of it.
And I've got a buddy in the same position. Like, he takes fucking great pictures. Like, he's got an eye for it, and like he's won contests and shit up here for it. But it's his hobby. He enjoys what he does, and he's got a fucking great eye for catching the right shit. And he's got, what is it called, the Light Booth or whatever. He's got that app to be able to go in, do all the shit with the pictures and stuff. I guess that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, I've made a ton of songs for my dogs.
Yeah.
I'll sit there and sing to them and play them songs and shit, and my wife loves it and shit, but I never, it sounds better when I'm like organically just trying to jam.
Yeah.
And not like, fuck, I gotta hurry up and write new music for this show coming up. We gotta practice it. We gotta do this and this and this and this, Now it's like, I just kind of go with the flow. And then like once fall hits, I've got a new microphone and shit, and I would like to give it another go and probably put out, just some mellow shit that's more art and not like forced for the sake of trying to connect with a fan base. You know what I mean? because that was the biggest thing. It was like trying to, what are these people gonna like to come to our shows and like the same kind of music I like, blah blah blah, you know, as opposed to I'm just gonna make whatever the fuck I want. And people like it, they like it, you know. I mean, that recipe has worked for a lot of people too. You know, maybe someday I do get fucking famous in my 30s.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I have a pretty good thing going here, you know, and make good money, and I've got a good, like, you know, I turned my hobby of cooking into my career basically, where I haven't made for the most part. I work my ass off. I work all the time, but it's something I enjoy, you know, and I get to see finished product. I got people who are fans, you know, of my food that come loyally. I've got regulars and shit like that, and that means a lot to me to know that I brought something to the table that makes the community better and it makes the world a better place. You know what I mean? Like, after I moved up here, I started doing volunteer work with the YMCA too, where once a month they host a community table, which is a free meal for the public, and I would go do that. I would basically cook for 100 people.
Nice.
And that was very rewarding. Like, at the end of the day, like, I felt like I took so much when I was younger and stupid, you know, like from food pantries and shit like that, when I could have just got a better, you know, I could have worked harder or done more for myself, that I was able to return that karma back, you know what I mean, and be able to go in and facilitate these meals, as opposed to, you know, the YMCA was just buying like Stouffer's fucking Salisbury steak meals and cooking them and giving them out, you know. Was able to go in and make these really elaborate dinners for these people that needed it in the community, a lot of senior citizens, a lot of special needs people, to come in and get a good hot cooked meal. And then, like, during the whole pandemic thing last summer, we were doing carry out. They didn't want people coming in, so I was going in twice a week, and we would do a sack lunch program where I would go in and make this fucking lunch in a bag basically for them people to come, drive up, pick it up, take off. So I mean, like, at the end of the day, that meant a lot to me to be able to do something like that and give back to the community. And after I've taken so much, I was such a turd back when I was, you know, in my 20s, and just drunk and stupid and, you know, trying to get, you know, one up on the world, where now I'm like, I'm gonna just try to be a better person now, you know.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I respect a lot of people I came up with, like you, who are trying to better themselves and better the place that they were at, you know, from where they came from and stuff like that. That it's nice to see some of the people that we came up with kind of grow and get that good job, get a leg up in the world. Like, I just bought a house, you know, that's something I never thought was ever going to happen. You know, I thought I was stuck renting for eternity.
Congrats. Hell yeah.
You know, I from where I started, which was, you know, poor as fuck, 2-bedroom apartment, to I've got a 4-bedroom house now in this fucking resort town, and it's very humbling. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a humbling experience, and I feel like doing those good deeds in the world are what's going to make your life better at the end of the day. Like, that shit carries over like karma. You know what I mean? Like, being able to contribute back to the community is going to get you more out of life.
I feel every word of that, man. And I know you know part of my story, but, you know, when I would visit my mom back in the day, and I grew up kind of, you know, we didn't have money, but I'd go visit her and she'd use the food pantry, and you came and performed at the show in my hometown, because as soon as I could, man, like, I used my skills and my resources to put on a show in my hometown to give back to that same pantry. Like, they're still around. My friends' kids are volunteering for them right now. I just saw a snap the other day, and I was like, that's cool, because I love that place so much. And, like, I know you were part of the Quad City Syndicate thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was me, you, Ty, and a few other people, but, you know, we were trying to do what we could for the community. And then once everyone kind of moved away and shit, like, I went and tried to keep that going down in Florida. I was doing hunger drives, and
I remember you down there, because you were at Full Sail and you were cranking out hunger drives and shit left and right.
I mean, it's just important. And, like, there was like a little letter from a little girl that, like, it was like a thank you letter to the place I was donating to, about, like, how, like, they couldn't afford meals now that she was out of school. And it was just places like that help people. And then it's just cool, like, hearing from you that you do that type of stuff too, because we have the resources and ability to, and it's hard to, like, ask people to, But when you actually like put stuff like that on, people know where to go do it at. Because there's people when I do it are like, I don't know where to go, and I can direct them. But when they see me post it, and I'm like, yeah, here's how you can help, or here's where you can
a lot of
go.
people, you know, some people, like the people that need help, don't really want to ask either. So it's
Right.
good to get out to those people. And at the same time, there's a lot of people that don't, they want to help, they don't know what to do. And the best thing you could do is, what are you good at? You know what I mean? Try to translate that into bettering your community around you. You know, and I'm very big on that nowadays. And I just feel like there's more to life than making money for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, we can all sit here and stack up money and be rich all we want, but at the end of the day, you know, your quality of life improves immensely when you give back to the community and you do something like you help people that need fucking help. You know, like to me, like I always try to donate to the Shriners because I've got cerebral palsy. You know what I mean? Like they helped me out a lot when I was a kid. They helped my mom out a lot. And so giving back to them, I do that every year. You know, for my birthday, I'll do a drive on Facebook and I'll also donate money personally, you know. You know, at the end of the day, money's money, but putting your time in, like seeing these people at the YMCA be so grateful for me to come in and do that. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm just making fucking pork chops. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
it's those like, little things that just mean so much to other people. Like you don't really, like me, I'm like, I just do it. I mean, and it's nothing. It's hard to like tell people to do it, but like just putting it out there so people know where to go. Like, I don't know. Even in the winter, like there's a lot of people that people don't think about. Like the winter time, if you donate shoes to like King's Harvest down in Davenport, like stuff like that, those people, like people need shoes, like kids' shoes and everything. Like anything that you have.
The snow.
And yeah, and there's like anything you have laying around you're not using, you can take that to any of those places, and this is sitting in your closet, but people could really use that stuff.
And we do a lot, like my wife volunteers at the Humane Society up here. And we do a lot for the animals and stuff around here too. Like I've donated from when I ran FA, used to send gift certificates to them to raffle off. We send stuff here when they do their charity drives and stuff. And a lot of times I'll just take food down there. You know what I mean? And be like, here you go. I know everybody always donates dog food and stuff, but here's some people food for the people that work here. You know what I mean? Yeah. It just feels good. It makes it warms your heart, you know, at the end of the day to be of assistance in the community. And I wish more people would do that and get that. A lot of people see me, they think I'm a dick, you know, because I am at times. You know, I've been a hard ass for a while, and you know, I was always that guy. But you know, like that kind of melts your icy heart to sit there and do those kind of things where you're like, you know, why don't I just do this instead? And I mean, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that you should, I'm going to take a walk, that you should go out and you should give away all your money and give away all your free time and shit like that. But just like an hour out of your week to go, you know, help the Humane Society clean some shit up, go down there, fucking, you know, help them walk the dog, stuff like that. That goes a long way.
Yeah.
What's up, man? Yeah, no, it's
we should
take a walk corner.
We should consider doing like a music event up there, tie it in with a little bit of food drive or something like I do.
Well, I've actually got in. They have free concerts down at the Green Space down here, and it's always like, you know, Thunderstruck, the AC/DC cover band, or they have a Tom Petty cover band that comes every year. They got the Beach Boy. I think it's only one guy. That'll be down there, and they always have these big concerts in the Green Space and stuff. And I've gotten to know the guy from us opening that other restaurant down there, so I've gotten to know this guy a little bit. And he's like, I actually want to start doing more like hip hop and stuff. And I'm like, well, because I've been talking to Soul True obviously about trying to get him involved up here. What's up, Bill? Yeah, trying to get him, like, you know, a show up here, because I mean, he's doing big things, you know, and his music appeals to, and that's I respect that of him, because his is that, like, what I'm trying to, you know, go for myself is that heartfelt from the soul, and not so much trying to be what everybody else wants you to be.
Crazy how much he, like, you already have seen him, like, he has a universal sound that attracts a lot of people, but it's crazy.
I mean, he could go play a coffee shop, he could go play a nightclub, he can go play
He
a
plays
free
metal
concert
shows.
Yeah.
But like, it's crazy how he flipped when he started. It's something I wanted to tell him, like in the beginning of this management stages, but you can't tell somebody to do this. But like, once he started getting more personal, it just fans started just multiplying.
And that's the
Like,
thing, man, is if you
crazy.
talk about your personal experiences in your life and shit, we all go through the same problems, just different circumstances, you know. And
Yeah.
a lot of his shit that he puts out is just like, you can relate to those what do you want to call it? Like, say he's got like a heartbreaky type song. He's got the My Pockets, which, you know, everybody can relate to that kind of stuff, you know. You know, I appreciate the guy, and I want to get him up here and get him into one of these events down here, you know, because I feel like he would speak to a lot of people. I mean, up here is a lot of top 40. I mean, you get a lot of people up here that they listen to whatever's playing. I mean, what, B100 back home. That's that's pretty much what you can expect. We have DJs up here, but all these DJs are up here are like, they just played, you know, the hits. You know, it's not really like how back home where we have that huge DJ culture in the Quad Cities, you know, where these guys are putting out their own original shit and spinning records still and doing stuff like that. You know, I know the Trip Brothers have their thing going, you know, and that shit's original, it's funky, it's fresh. But up here, it's like, man, it's and not to knock anybody's, you know, hustle with cover bands and stuff, but it's all cover bands, you know. And I know it takes a lot of skill to play the guitar and play songs, you know, somebody else's songs, but at the same time, it'd be nice to get somebody up here that does their own thing. Get one of those bands from the Quad Cities, you know, like, I think like, you know, the Dawn and all those guys, you know what I mean? Like, they would be fucking huge up here. And I'm trying to push that agenda a little more this fall, because the way things work up here, everybody books in the fall for the summer. So, and that's why I told Terrence, was like, let me get in, you know, this fall, we'll get some things established and stuff like that. And I really want to try to bring more of a presence. I've talked to Scarecrow about it too. You know, he sends me all his, I can get this person for this much money, blah, blah, you know, still hustling, you know. And I think we could do some, you know, I'm not gonna say damage, but you know what I mean, do some damage up here and get some of those people up here to enjoy this untapped resource, which is Okoboji. Because I mean, original music is just, takes a lot of skill to write your own song and to do your own lyrics and record your own voice. And like I said, not to knock anybody in cover bands, but it'd be refreshing to hear some original acts.
Get up there and do some heartfelt stuff. Like,
I could give a shit less about AC/DC, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I did have a question though. Like, so when you were doing music more, like, did you like writing, the studio, or the stage more? Like, what took you away?
Man.
The stage
was my favorite.
Same. Right here.
That's why I'm so good at talking to people. You know what I mean? Like, that really developed my people skills and my talking skills, because you're up here, you know, like standing over everybody, like everybody's looking at you and you're on the spot. And I just got really good with it. You know what I mean? Like, I was able to be on the microphone and say shit and do my acts and do my shit, and it was fine. Whereas like writing, I would get frustrated. You know what I mean? You get writer's block. I do like producing. Like I said, the beat making thing is something I'm still very involved with. But I mean, like, we do things up here, like we do a beer school with the local brewery up here, Westo Brewery. I'll shout them out. They're the shit. If you can get a hold of any Westo beer, try it out. It's great. But I collab with those guys a lot. Like, they make, for Nautical, we have our own beer, which is called Naughty Light. And then we do a beer school twice a year where I do 5 dishes. They'll do 5 beers. They'll do like a couple of their flagships. Then they'll do a couple specialty ones. And I get up and talk to a crowd of people about beer and food, and I love it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't miss a beat. I don't stop talking. Like I told you earlier, I was like, it's okay, man. I don't know how to shut the fuck up. So, but I mean, like, that's carried over into my job skill. Currently,
nice.
I'm able to get up and talk in front of people. I can talk to customers and stuff and not miss a beat.
Yeah. I'm trying to get better with like this interview thing too. I got really good with the stage shit, and then I wasn't good with like in front of people. So when I was down at Full Sail, I would volunteer to host everything. That way I made myself get better at it. but I still feel like I always need to improve in everything.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I could give advice to anybody that wants to get on stage and do music is fuck them. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, so what if you stumble over your words a little bit? So what if you miss the beat a little bit? Like, who fucking cares? Like.
I never really had an issue with the stage, but like just public speaking, even though I got in front of hundreds of people and shit and felt amazing, but getting up and just like talking in front of people, I had to get used to that again. And I got used to it, but like I just need to like build, like I still need to work on my confidence, but it's whatever.
One thing that's changed with me is my social anxiety. Like, I have social anxiety now more than I used to, because I'm not like in the crowd as much as I used to be. You know what I mean? Like, I can still get on stage and grab a microphone and tell people, yeah, I made this this fucking cocoa stout roasted pork loin, blah, 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 and get up there and talk. But the minute I walk around and talk to people, I kind of get a little weird. And this place is full on Saturday, and I'm in here and I'm like, I got the fuck out of here,
Yeah.
So like, I kind of lost that a little bit from not doing music anymore. But I'm also older too. It's been probably 7-8 years since I've done a show. So I mean, it's part of my growth, I guess, that I'm a little more reserved in public, and I'm not so obnoxious and throwing pictures and screaming,
Yeah.
I'm mad and shit like that.
So did you guys try to like bring UGV back and like with you and Crow instead of Crow and Slit? Wasn't that a thing?
I told him straight up, I was like, you got to keep that name going, man. Like, that was established. That
was buzzing.
That's one of the big established hip hop names, like catchphrases or words, whatever you want to say, in the Quad Cities was UGV. Everybody knows UGV. You either hated or loved it. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I still went around seeing people with UGV shirts everywhere, like didn't even know who they were, like in person, but they knew the music.
Funny. I should have showed you this while I was outside.
So I was gonna say, because I thought you guys were trying to like kick it off with you and him for a little bit.
Yeah, we tried, but check this out. Stuck that sticker up there.
Oh shit! Nice.
Like 2 years ago, and it's still there.
Damn.
So I mean, like, I told him, I was like, let's just go under that name instead of Scarecrow B-KryptiK, because UGV just was, everybody knew it. It was label recognition. Like, I'm sure they taught you that in whatever type of marketing and stuff you took at Full Sail. Like, recognition is key. And Corey was a little, I don't know. And I was like, let's just fucking do it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Just go to TV. It's shorter. It's short, sweet, to the point. Rolls off the tongue. Because I went through that where, like, I changed group names. Eastside Riders, Midwest Maniacs. And I went just as myself. And I'm like, let's try to do that. Let's try to keep it the same thing. And, like, I feel like, Scarecrow kind of had the same problem I did. Like, he was just getting burnt out from the stress from it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to speak for him. But it was just, it got to be a little too much. Like, it was a lot of beefing and shit. And just, I don't know. We kind of pigeonholed ourselves into this whole strange music juggalo culture thing, which is where we came from. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, I feel like we could have flipped it a little more and done something a little bit more original,
Yeah. I hear that.
But whatever, I had fun.
Yeah, I was just curious. It was always something I kind of wondered. Like, I was there for it. I just didn't know if you were trying, like, to what extent you guys were trying to make that a thing, or like all that shit.
That was me kind of playing devil's advocate, saying, let's just fucking do this. Let's keep that going. You've been doing that since what? Fucking 2005, 2004. UGB got started, and I mean, it changed a lot. Like, it was originally God, who was it? It was originally Corey, Scarecrow, and God, who else was in it? It was Scarecrow and another guy that never really actually did anything, I don't think. And then Yoko, that's who it was. Yoko came into the fold, and it was those two. And they were great. That album, what was it called? I don't remember, but that album was great. Like it was solid. Like, and then it became Slit and Par.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
That's
And
where I met them, is when it was those guys.
and those guys did it, and then I don't really know what happened with. I don't think there's any bad blood between them, but they all kind of went their separate ways, and Corey was still doing his thing, and it's like we were working together a lot. Like we were performing together because I wasn't really doing shit with the group I was in, and things just kind of mutated and rolled, and everything just kind of changes and changes, and it's like stick with that name. Like if it's you and it could be somebody else, I mean, fuck, bands swap out members, you know what I mean?
No, that's not a bad idea.
And I kind of pushed him about it, and that's kind of when that was right at the end where I'm like, I was over it, like I was kind of in a shitty relationship and wasn't real happy, and I was too worried about that. And after, I moved up here, like I spent a year kind of soul searching, kind of a midlife crisis per se. And now I'm at the point in my life now where, when I have time, when I'm not working all the fucking time, I want to get back into it and start doing things more organically and more from the heart. So,
yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
But I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough for me to find the time. I fucking just want to go to sleep.
It's true. Well, I do that. Like I get so hammered at work being a manager now that like on my days I'm working, I'm like, all right, man, like y'all can hit me up about music shit, but like on my days off, those are my office hours for music. Because I get so burned out, like my brain just like melts during my work days. So I get you.
I get beat down because I mean it's paced, it's hectic. Then you get home, I don't want to bust everything out and shit, and
yeah.
It's something I'm going to start working towards this fall. Maybe you'll see me drop a track. Who knows? But
I
really started to. Guys hated country music. Never liked it. Started listening to Yellow Wolf. Started. It was. What's the fucking? What's the name of that album?
Love Story.
Love Story. That's the one that came out where I was like, God, this is fucking great. You know what I mean? Like, I've never been a country guy, and I started listening to Jelly Roll a lot. I'm like, God, this is fucking good. Still can't do the twangy regular country, but that shit's good. You know what I mean? And like, I sing a lot at work in my free time and shit. So I've kind of like started because you can train yourself to sing. The more you do it, the more you learn. So I feel like I might be able to try my hand at some shit like that, but we'll see. I'm not gonna make any promises. I made too many fucking promises in music, so.
Yeah, man, that is crazy though. Like people don't recognize that Yellow Wolf basically like people talk about Taylor Swift doing that and making that transfer and not losing fans. Yellow Wolf did that shit. And like after his Shady album, he went and he did American. I know it's under Shady, but he still sold more than his Shady album. Like he topped Billboard more and everything. And I'm like, damn, like he like switched it and did it, but nobody talks about that.
We open at 4, guys. Yep. Sorry.
But yeah, he doesn't get enough. Yellow doesn't get enough credit, man. That dude's so good.
His recent album, Mudmouth, that fucking album is hot fire.
I gotta check it out.
It is good.
Yeah.
And bumping that pretty heavy. I mean, his music really speaks to me. Like, I'm not a country guy. I grew up in the fucking projects in East Moline, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But that shit's good, man. Like, I love it. Like, it's just, it speaks to me. Like, Jelly Roll, too. Like, Jelly Roll's kind of been that bridge for me to enjoy that type of music, Like, I still couldn't listen to fucking, what is it? I don't even know. Fucking Kenny Chesney type shit, I can't get down.
I don't like that shit either.
It's never been my thing. And that's, honestly, that's somebody's thing. Can't knock it. Everybody's,
Music does different things to different people.
But Yellow Wolf's kind of really risen to the top for me.
Yeah.
Trunk Music 0 to 60 came out, you know what I mean? Like, that's when it was like, oh, this is good. And then you put out Radioactive, and Radioactive was kind of, like, there was a couple of good songs, but it was kind of, And then Love Story came out, and I was like, God damn, this guy is speaking from the heart,
Mm-hmm.
And his old shit too. You get into his old shit like arena rap, shit like that. That stuff's good.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So,
yep.
yeah, we'll see what the future holds for my music. I probably will change my name, but we'll see. Probably just put stuff out under my name if people can figure out how to pronounce it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's the big thing that holds me back from it. But
yeah.
you know, I had some fun. I remember doing shows at mini gatherings, the Juggalo ones, where we do them in the park.
Mm-hmm.
The cops would always shut us down, but those were always funner. Fuck too, you know, like something about performing and people like vibing to you. Like if you see somebody in their outfit and they're like, yeah, that's what it was about for me. Seeing somebody's satisfaction of what I'm doing always makes me feel good, and that's like translates. You know what I mean? We get positive reviews. Somebody's like, oh, that fucking pizza was bomb. All these fucking euros are the shit. You know what I mean? Like that. To me, at the end of the day, is what it's about. Like, I want to make the general public happy with what I'm doing. So, I mean, like, I love what you're doing with these podcasts, because, I mean, you're going to probably talk to a lot of people I haven't seen in forever.
Yeah.
So,
I have a lot.
And I was like, God, I haven't seen him fucking forever. I don't think I've seen you guys in person forever.
Yeah.
Every time I'm in town, it's like, fucking 3 days, quick, boom, boom, get the fuck out, you know?
Yeah. And I'm probably working or something. But yeah, like there's a lot of people lined up, man. I haven't even scratched the surface, and everyone's like, hey, let me get on there. I'm like, all right. So you're about to see some people though.
Oh, I was gonna bring this up. I remember that one time punched that guy on Mushroom.
I thought you weren't gonna bring it up this. I was like, damn.
I waited until the end. I was like, God, that's like one of my fondest memories of you. We were at a fucking random house party in Bentdorf, and you're on mushrooms, and this guy like stole all the beer, and you just fucking ran out and punched him through his fucking window.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, I fucking love that dude.
Yeah. There's people aside that heard that hit. Like,
that was good shit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I was wondering if you're gonna bring that up. I had the setup in the living room, the live music, the freestyle battles, man. That shit was fun.
Whose house was that?
That was mine. Yeah. That was my house. That was Chad's birthday party.
Fucking cheesy Chad.
Yeah.
I got stories about him too.
Yeah, he's not gonna make my interviews.
That's been a long running inside joke.
Oh yeah. But yeah, man, like I'm proud of all your success though, man. I see that you're doing all that shit you love to do. I mean, I didn't get to make your wedding, which fucking sucks, but I got invited and I'm a dick.
That was the equivalent of a show in 2010 because it was messy.
Shit.
It was fun. I mean, fuck, dude. I busted my ass to get where I'm at. You know what I mean? And I see a lot of old people busting their ass to get where they are now, and I, share the love.
It's a good feeling, man. I keep seeing all of you doing it, man. I love it. Like surrounding myself still with the ones that are making it and really trying. And I know I'll see you at Crow's wedding.
He's gonna his best man speech at my wedding was awful, so he's gonna get it back.
Nice.
He's like, oh yeah, this is my best friend. We used to do crimes and shit. Wow, you know what I mean? My in-laws, and I'm like, oh, you motherfucker.
Nice. Yeah, get him.
I'll be there for that. For Fort Madison, November.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. So
yeah. But then again, man, thanks for everything. Like this was great. Like we could do this for a whole nother hour, but
yeah, I was just say I got stories, man. If you want to do a part 2, we can do a part 2.
We might have to, man. We got to link up and do some stuff up there, music wise.
Yeah, definitely. It's fucking summertime up here is the shit. Fishing. I know you fish.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I should even just try to get up there anyway, man. But
come up and fish, man. You don't have to work or nothing.
Yeah. All right, man. Well,
I'll take it easy.
All right, you too.
Thanks for the interview.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, definitely, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Later.
Get rocky, put your bags in the basement. Get sloppy, put your mans in the faces. Hot beat, leave the fans in amazement. Yeah, I'm the man, just face it. Get rocky, put your bags in the basement. Get sloppy, put your mans in the faces. Hot beat, leave the fans in amazement. Yeah, I'm the man, just face it. I get get it. Rip on explicit submissions. Invest in equipment and try to get it like I did it. Hard hitter like Madden playing with the hit stick. R-rated like our favorite movies as kids. Hot asses, shots blasting, shot glasses, stomp asses. Dope Boy in the Hood was a classic. My favorite movies were tragic, but all of them stolen if we had it. Broke as fuck, so my mama was a bandit. My dad Robin Hood, so we wouldn't go famished. I used to cuss just out of fucking habit. Magic when pulling tricks, no rabbit. Give the hoe swollen dick, just grab it. Don't be shy, oh you got it man, shit. Not after you get a sample of this. Just try. Get rocky, put your bags in the basement. Get sloppy, put your mans in the faces. Hot beat, leave the fans in amazement. Yeah, I'm the man, just face it. Get rocky, put your bags in the basement. Get sloppy, put your mans in the faces. Hot beat, leave the fans in amazement. Yeah, I'm the man, just face it.